All right, y'all. Welcome into Western Edge Cellars. We're having a great Wednesday night so far. And I'm glad to be back in the real world, whatever that is these days.
This is it, huh?
This is it. My name's Stephen K. Morris, y'all. This is the Songwriter Spotlight Series. I invite a guest each week to the series, guest songwriter, and this week I'm happy to have Mr. Dylan Tanner from Pipe Creek, Texas, which many people may not know where that's at, but we'll educate you on it. How you doing, Dylan?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. We had to kick this show down the road because of the COVID thing,
Yeah.
and
We sure did.
I'm glad to be back in public playing. And is this your first show back?
Yeah. My last gig was early March, so I had a bunch get canceled.
Yeah.
As all of us did.
Well, I'm glad you're here, man, and we'll remember this as the first one back.
The first one.
Well, Dylan, if you don't mind, I usually don't do this, but I'm going to kick it off today, and just to get my own sea legs back, like I
go ahead.
mentioned earlier, and get this show back on the road. We've all been itching to get back in the world and have some live music that we weren't watching through our computers or phones. This is how it happened a few years ago. I had a toothache. My mind is moving slow. Now it's really on a roll. This pressure's got me low. Looking for a place to go, looking for a place to heal. Could I be spinning wheels if I chase? I'm chasing tequila, chasing tequila. I'm chasing tequila-driven dreams. Started with one or two, and then I found my groove. Who wants another round? Found myself on the ground. I woke up feeling bad. Could have been the night I had. It's all in the chase. I'm chasing tequila, chasing tequila, chasing tequila-driven dreams, one shot at a time. I went to work feeling rude. I found a bad attitude and I told the boss, go away, try again another day. Now unemployment won't pay, all my bills are due, I guess I'll chase. I'm chasing tequila, chasing tequila, chasing tequila-driven dreams. My mind started to roam. I found this bar on my way home, started feeling good again, thinking I just might win. Paid my tab to go, feeling like Cuervo. I'm back in the chase now. I'm chasing tequila, chasing tequila, chasing tequila-driven dreams with salt and lime now. You know, Dylan, there's a sad part to every drinking song. And this one's no stranger than the rest. Well, I got home feeling the blues. I had to tell my babe the news. Don't think she took it well. She told me to go to hell. Hit me with my old suitcase. Slammed that door in my face. Maybe I ought to quit this chase. I'm chasing tequila-driven dreams. My mind started to roam like it always does. My mind was moving slow. Now it's really on a roll. This pressure's got me low. Looking for a place to go, looking for a place to heal. Could I be spinning wheels if I chase? I'm chasing tequila, chasing tequila. It's a vicious cycle. I'm chasing tequila-driven dreams. All right, on the outsider, y'all. Thank you very much. It feels so good to be back in front of real live people. If y'all been keeping up with the world, you know that we've all been home a lot. And I'm ready to get back to work because my sweetheart at home works me harder there than I have to work out in the world. Because part of this is just fun. And anyhow, I want to again say that this is the Outsider Songwriter Spotlight Series. It's all about the road a musician travels, and I invite a guest each week here to Western Edge Cellars on Wednesday nights, 6:30 to 9. This week, my guest is Mr. Dylan Tanner, a young songwriter from Pipe Creek, Texas, outside of San Antonio. Dylan, we sort of met down at the Corpus Christi Songwriters Festival in February. Yeah. We were in the same room, and I think we got to kind of give a salute or a handshake. And back when handshakes were in style.
Yeah, back when they were allowed.
Yeah. You're here tonight, and we get to know each other a little better. Tell us where Pipe Creek is. Some of us might not know.
So Pipe Creek's, I usually say I'm from Bandera. Most people know where Bandera is at. If you don't, it's about 30 miles north of San Antonio. I actually live in a little town called Lake Hills. So, I start with Bandera if you don't know where I start with Lake Hills. If you don't know where that is, I say Pipe Creek. If you don't know where Pipe Creek is, I say Bandera. If you don't know where Bandera is, I just say north of San Antonio. Yeah. So I live out there, born and raised out there. Live on Medina Lake and just enjoy the country life, man.
So you've never got too far from home as far as where you're living, did you?
No. I mean, I spent a couple years up in Austin, but I came back in the hill country, man. It's what I love.
Yeah, very good. Well, I'm glad to finally have you on the show. I know you've put in some good songs out there, and I'm looking forward to hearing some. And
Thanks,
if you don't mind just getting us going before we rattle on too long, introduce your music with a song, Dylan.
Absolutely. This is a newer song. It's called Grandpa Look at Me. I wrote this one in December and down at the Corpus Christi Songwriters Festival. During one of the songwriting workshops, it was with Adam and Chris Carroll, which was a huge treat.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, to be able to sit down and kind of pick their brain. And at the end of the class, we got to play them a song, which was really exciting. And I went out on a limb and I played a song that wasn't done yet because I wanted to hear everybody's input and kind of what they thought, where they thought it could go.
Right.
And, I played it, and everybody had some suggestions, and everything was wonderful. And then Adam came over, and he's like, "Hey, man," and he pitched his idea for the last verse. And after I got out of there, I went and sat on the corner and finished the song with. If Adam Carroll gives you a song idea, you take it.
You probably should take it.
Right?
He's got some tenure in this business.
Yeah, a little bit.
Adam's one of the more colorful writers that we all know, I think.
Man.
And he really can paint a great picture of characters and the scene that they're in.
Yeah. So I just been telling people that I wrote this song with Adam Carroll, but he just doesn't know it yet.
Send him a copy.
It's called Grandpa Look at Me.
All right.
I took my chances, stayed out late, drank all the whiskey till daylight's break. Down on my knees, sniffing cocaine, like I was too good for the blood in my veins. I had a job and I had a wife. We had a baby. Everything was nice. If I wasn't drinking, maybe I'd been open to changing, but I never did. Oh, 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 I never did. Oh, oh, oh. All I am left with is a bottle of rye. Talks with my daughter through telephone lines. One day she told me what's done is done, but if I get cleaned up I might meet my grandson. Oh, 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 meet my grandson. Oh, oh. When the bottle is dry and I fall asleep, me and my grandson go walk to the creek. He tosses a line, hooks on a tree, reels in a stick and says, Grandpa, look at me. Oh, oh, Grandpa, look at me. Oh, oh. Thank you all.
Very nice, man.
Thank you guys.
That's Mr. Dylan Tanner, our guest today on The Outsider. Dylan, man, what a great song. And you said that one's new this year.
Yeah, I just wrote that one in
Yeah.
December. Finished it after the festival. So
After the fest in
sometime
February.
Yeah, February.
There you go. Man, what a lot of emotion in that song, and he tying some folks together with real world life. And a lot of us songwriters approach the writing from that. It's not always fictional. No emotion's really fictional. I guess it's who you attach it to.
Yeah.
Are some of those characters personal, or are they?
They weren't supposed to be when I started writing the song, but I think maybe subconsciously they are.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. I think our mind sometimes leads us more than we want it to, or know that it's doing until the end of something.
I agree. And typically, I have a hard time with fictional writing, and that's something I'm personally trying to work on.
Right.
When I started writing songs, it just, it's for me, it's come straight from feelings,
Sure.
and personal experiences. And if you listen to my records, you'll be able to know a lot of the stuff that I've gone through and the story of my life thus far,
There you go.
And
yeah, a lot of folks write, and it's kind of cathartic. It's something that we're getting off our own chest. And
And I'm trying to get better at fictional, and this was one of my attempts, but then looking at it, it's like, well, that's partly true too.
Yeah, never losing that connection, whether it's fictional or not, though, is what ties it for a listener.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important.
That makes sense, man.
It's a fun deal. Well, you have an EP out, it looks like, with 5 or 6 songs, and then Dreamer, I think, is your most recent album.
Correct. Yeah.
And so when did you release Dreamer?
That was in the fall of 2018.
18. Yeah. All right. And the EP a couple years before that?
Yeah, there's another CD too before that.
Okay.
The first full length was in 2014. Then the EP was 2015 and then 2018.
So you've been at it a while.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, I started recording as soon as I started writing. I was going to school for audio engineering. And as I was starting to write songs, so I started recording an album before I gigged, you know?
Right.
And which I don't recommend doing. If there's any, anybody out there starting, go out and play a couple hundred gigs before you record anything.
Yeah, it's daunting. Normally, the first time getting in a studio, if you're familiar, with the live performances, but you had it the other way around.
Absolutely, man. I was real comfortable in the studio, and then got out in the real world and was, terrified.
That may be a blessing as your years go on, to be able to have a natural feel for a studio. Do you feel that way now?
I do, man.
Projects?
It made going to live a little less daunting because I was, as far as equipment goes and everything, I was pretty set. I was just not used to playing in front of people.
Yeah. I wish everyone that performed live would do also what you did and have some background behind the scenes on the engineer side, because
it's huge.
There's a huge work process between an engineer and then the performer.
Absolutely.
And talking the same language helps.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm very glad it turned out the way it did, If I could change anything, I would have waited to release that first album. I would have played a whole bunch of gigs, 'cause
right.
Your voice grows, your guitar playing grows.
I would have done the same,
grows.
In hindsight. The experience you can't trade for, and you got to get it somehow.
Yeah.
But sometimes the product you come up with is always leave you wanting a little more. And maybe projects always do that because it's permanent.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
We're generally our own worst critics, right?
Oh, yeah. That's something also I'm continuously working on.
Yeah. So who were some of your peers that you looked to for guidance when you got into the business, or not even the business, just the writing side of it?
Well, I wrote my first. I started playing drums when I was 10, and so I grew up playing drums in bands throughout my teenage years, and then I didn't write my first song till I was 19 years old, and my biggest influence is a guy named Mason Jennings. He's my favorite songwriter, and he was probably the reason he's one of my biggest influences is because hearing his music kind of really, he doesn't have like a amazing, beautiful voice, and when I first started, I had never sang a note in my life, and I was real pitchy, for a lot of years, and when I heard him play, I thought, wow, you don't have to be,
right,
some
perfect.
Perfect singer. Yeah. If you can just put some good words together with chords, people will listen.
Yeah.
If it connects. And he was the first guy that really I connected with on that level, and it subconsciously encouraged me to start writing songs and do my own thing.
Very cool.
My brother's a big inspiration too, man. He's 3 years older than me, and he was big into music before me. So I was always trying to keep up with him with the music stuff.
Oh, nice. Some sibling
influence.
rivalry there.
Yeah.
Or at least inspiration.
Yeah, more so inspiration for sure.
Well, let's talk more about that in a minute, but before that, could you share another one with us?
Yeah. I'll share one with you guys from the Dreamer album. This is a song called High, and I wrote this when my firstborn son, I brought him home from the hospital, and he was sleeping in his bassinet right in front of me, and I was just sitting there looking at him and thinking about love, how much I love this little guy already, and how cool it is that love just never ends, I was kind of thinking about the evolution of love and how it's just energy that never stops, and wrote this song. It's called High. First time I saw her face, my heart began to race. Fell through outer space when she first said my name. Sometime down the line, I finally got wise. Went down on my knee, asked her to marry me. I felt high on her love.
I saw your face, my heart began to race. I felt the whole world change into a better place. When I look into your eyes, I see me as a child and get lost deep inside. An overwhelming pride I feel high on your love. I feel high on your love. Someday you'll be a man, and it'll start where it began. First time you see her face, your heart will begin to race, flutter like butterflies. When she first says join a while, give it time, you'll love her like I love your mother. You'll feel high on her love. You feel high on her love. Oh, oh, na na na. Oh, oh, na na na. Oh, oh, na na na. Oh, na na na. Someday you'll be a man, and it'll start where we began. First time you see her face, your heart will begin to race, flutter like butterflies. When she first says join a while, give it time, and you'll love her like I love your mother. You feel high on her love. You feel high on her love.
All right, Dylan.
Thank y'all.
That's Mr. Dylan Tanner. Great voice, Dylan.
Thanks, man. Thank
Good
you.
songs. And we can find you online at dylantannermusic.com.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I want to interrupt kind of here and mention some important people to this show. We have some small businesses here in town that sponsor and support the show so that we can be out on the airwaves of KFan 109.7 FM and Texas Rebel Radio. One of those businesses is the Tobacco House. They're purveyors of cheap talk and fine tobacco. They've got a great walk-in humidor at 109 South Washington across from the Nimitz Museum, a full bar. They are not yet open for COVID, but you can go out and have get cigars to go. So stay tuned with them. Look them up online at tabak-haus.com. Also, Majesty Wine Tours, they're ready to help you tour the Texas Hill Country. They'll drive you to drink and treat you like royalty. Look up Majesty Wine Tours online, majestywinetours.com, and they are open for business. You can customize a tour right now. They'll take you around the venues that are available, or customize your tour just to see the Hill Country. So give Majesty Wine Tours a look. Get online, majestywinetours.com. We appreciate those guys. Last but not least is the Texas Silver Rush. They're right across the street from Western Edge Cellars, where we have this show every Wednesday night. They have custom and finely made silver and stone jewelry. You'll feel like the rock stars they designed for when you shop with the Texas Silver Rush. So look them up online as well. thetexassilverrush.com. I don't know that they're open yet, but you can find them online. And if you get on their Facebook page, I know they're doing some great sales with the situation we are in. And we're working virtually very regularly right now. Oh, yeah. And this is a good time to introduce a guy I know, Mr. Leo Aguirre. Leo's in the house, and I want to introduce him and just let him talk for a minute about a great service that he and another one of his buddies have put together. And Leo, how you doing, man? Come on up here. There you go. We're being a little spontaneous
How you
here,
doing,
Leo.
man?
I'm
it's good
doing
to see
great.
You again.
It's good to see you. It
Yeah.
seems like life has been on pause for a while.
You know, for a lot of people, it has. For me, I've been staying pretty busy, man. It's crazy. You know what? I think I've been busier now than what I've ever had in the past few years, and it's good and bad because you know you kind of want to spend time with the family too. But at the same time, any free time that I've had in the past, you're trying to do something to help, you know, the community that you see that's having a hard time. So, you know, it's worked out because at the end of the day, you still feel great that you're doing something to help other people and you're still getting by. You know, I'm still one of those fortunate people that has a job, you know. So help out who you can when you can.
That's awesome, man. Leo, I know that you work, you say a job, but you're kind of a man of many trades. You do some photography work around Fredericksburg.
I do a lot. I do photography. I do marketing. I love art.
Right.
My father was an artist, commercial art. He was a sign painter, and when we first moved here, I think he had about 95% of all the signs, you know, on Main Street. So it was cool walking Main and say, "Oh, Dad did this." So it's like kind of. I felt like I needed to keep on doing like what he did, but through other medias because I knew I was never going to be as good as my father.
Well,
but still.
But in your own facet, you've come along in the digital world like so many of us have had to do, and you found your footing there with photography and different services.
Yeah.
You make jewelry. You're wearing some of your fine jewelry.
I make jewelry. I play music. I love to paint. Photography, and I mean, really.
Yeah.
Food. And I'm food. I love food, man. I'm a chef. So
that's part of why I invited you up today. We kind of have an angle here, and you're one of the characters I love to see around town. During the COVID battle and the stay-at-home and shelter-at-home, you and a buddy, Brandon Vineyard, have put together a site that to help service industry and musicians and folks that have been displaced from work. And I want you to kind of tell us about that.
Right. So about 2 weeks ago, or a little bit longer, Brandon Vineyard came over to my studio, and he approached me and said that he had seen a lady in New Orleans do this thing for everyone on Bourbon Street, mostly just all the bartenders out there. It was a tip party. And I asked him how it works, and he went into detail and showed up the website. And it was just people that were tipping their local bartenders, and being that New Orleans is really big in bars, and that's the way of life in New Orleans, right? If a person was at home enjoying a beer, a cocktail, they would think about their bartender that was always making their cocktail or beer, or give them their beer, and they would tip them just because they felt the need. They knew they were going through hard times, and they would do that. So Brandon mentioned it to me. It's like, man, what a cool idea. So, I mean, we didn't come up with the idea. We just implemented, and we used our EatFBGTX or eatfredericksburgtexas.com to really just make it a central hub where people can go, sign up, and hopefully, you know, get other locals to give in to them and help them along the way.
Right. I think the concept is great and generous on y'all's time to put it together. And y'all gain nothing out of this other than helping network the local musicians and servers.
We're not the middleman. We just create a place where people can go and, you know, find their favorite server, bartender, musician, and give a little love back.
That's awesome. And I wanted to bring you up tonight because we have a lot of great listeners out on KFan 107.9 FM and Texas Rebel Radio, listeners on YouTube of the show. And again, I want to say it's eatfbgtx.com.
Yeah, that is the main site, but you can go straight to tipfbg.com. So Tip Fredericksburg, and find your musician or whoever.
Your server, your musician, your wait,
anybody
that works in the industry.
And if you're in the service industry, you go into that site, you sign up. put in your Venmo account, and one simple click, you can make a tip to that person. So
I think it's great, man, and I know I've already seen some things come through because of y'all's side.
No, it's been great.
It's really good.
A good buddy, Dan Garrison.
Yep.
And his team, they were one of the first people to actually give to everyone up there.
Right.
And it just put a big smile on your face, when people are paying attention and they really care about, our community. So I appreciate everyone that gets on there, man, signs up, and those that give.
Absolutely.
It's great to give.
Well, Leo, thanks, and tell Brandon we said the same.
We shall.
And, we'll certainly stay in touch. It's a small town.
Oh, yeah, man. We're just waiting, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by the
Yeah,
show tonight
thanks,
and supporting the musicians and the wait servers and wait staff and
For sure.
doing everything you do in this community.
Oh, thanks
I
for spreading the
know
word, too, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We appreciate it.
We do, too.
Thanks, brother.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me. Yeah,
Good to see
same,
you.
man.
Yeah.
Thank
Keep that jewelry work up, too.
Oh, yeah,
That's
man.
good stuff.
Thank you, brother. Here you go.
Thank you, Leo. Yeah, again, that is tipfbg.com, and you can go in and find your favorite server. I know a lot of y'all are missing your favorite wait staff or servers or bartenders, musician, and if you'd like, you can get on their PayPal or Venmo, and if you don't know how to get a hold of one of them, that's an avenue to do it. So Leo and his crew are great, and we appreciate those guys thinking about us as we sit at home wondering when our next job is. So. Well, again, I want to bring back Mr. Dylan Tanner, y'all. Thanks for hanging in there and enjoying the show tonight. I appreciate seeing a few folks out here at Western Edge Cellars. I've missed being here. And
I'm sure, man.
We're going to get back at it. Dylan, if you're ready, man, I'd love to hear another song, and then we'll talk a little more about the behind the scenes of your music life.
Perfect, man. This one is another newer one. It's called Too Blind to See Gold. Dad quit drinking, in case you hadn't heard. Doc said one more will put him in the dirt. His eyes are heavy, heart is full of pain. I'll drink another, carry on the name. Been out searching for someone to blame. Buried my dog, but I still call her name. Bound for glory, but swimming through the pain. Like dying of thirst while drowning in the rain. While drowning in the rain. I've been finding hope. I've been finding hope. All that time I felt alone, I've been finding home. Think I found God, in case you hadn't heard. Still have trouble going to church. My brother laughed and said it's about time. My mother cried and said you made it out alive. Been out digging for something to hold. Maybe silver, too blind to see the gold. The clouds are gray, but it's just an illusion. The sky's always blue if you choose to see through them. The sky's always blue if you choose. I've been finding home. I've been finding home. All that time I felt alone, I've been finding home. It's been so long since I last saw your face. All I could see were the lines that had changed. You said the sky's always covered in rain. I said keep on fighting and you'll find your way. I've been finding home. I've been finding
nice.
Thank you, guys.
That's Mr. Dylan Tanner, y'all. He's our guest tonight on The Outsider, and so happy to have him here with us at Western Edge, our first gig back in this strange world we're living in. We appreciate the listeners that have come out and braved this dangerous world. Well, Dylan, if you don't mind, I'm going to throw one in, and we'll come back and talk a little more history with you about your life and
Sounds good, man.
what's going on with you. You said you were a drummer. Did you play in school just as on the side, or did you have any history with playing in bands or like public school bands or anything like that?
I did throughout middle school, and then like the first semester of high school, and then I dropped out of that.
Yeah, a lot of folks transition there in high school and end up kind of dedicating themselves to sports or whatever their other event is that activities are.
Yeah, the whole marching band thing wasn't really for me. I just was more into playing, you know, in whatever rock band. Yeah, a band. You know.
Yeah. Y'all were. So you played in a band there, and you said your brother was a musician. Does he play guitar as well?
Yeah. He's man. Growing up, he was a talented one. You know, he could play any instrument, and he started writing songs when he was young, probably 15. And our band that we had, he was the songwriter. He'd write all the songs, and we would just try to make them sound better.
Yeah. So
I tried my best.
The family band.
Yeah. We really were, man. It was awesome. My dad was all about it, and we had all of our instruments set up in the living room, and we played every day, and at night we'd write songs, and it was a really good time in my life, man, growing up with it all around like that in the family.
Yeah, it was great to have a family that supported what you were doing,
Absolutely.
other than your schoolwork, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well, Dylan, I'll throw one in, and then we'll get back to a couple more of your songs.
Play this one.
Cool, man. I think I wrote this when I lived. I know I did. I was living in Louisville, Texas for a little while, and Dylan, you're kind of an anomaly. Most of us songwriters have lived all over the map, and it sounds like you've kind of had your feet on the ground now at Pipe Creek most of your life. I moved around quite a bit, and this is one of my shorter stays when I lived in Louisville. I actually lived on the floor of a buddy of mine's apartment. We don't have to talk about the details of that as much as I got a good song out of it. This old world can get you down, kick you in the gut when you hit the ground, spit in your eye and rub it in if you let it. Morning time comes rolling through, the same old clouds are hanging around to make you think you lost more than you found if you let it. If you let it. Take a deep breath, scream and shout, pick yourself up, kick your boot heels out, forget the bruises on your pride, get a fire burning deep inside. It's gonna take some time, but that's all we got. If you let it. Knock the dust off your hide, take this whole world for a ride. Make your own path, leave your own mark, pick up the pieces that are falling apart. One at a time, easy does it, if you let it. These days I tear you limb from limb, make you burn your candle at both ends, help you lose your head and forget who you've been if you let it. Nighttime falls, you stare at the walls, it makes you stir crazy so you roam the halls. It'll steal all the air from your lungs if you let it. If you let it. I'll take a deep breath, shout. Pick yourself up, kick your boot heels out. Forget the bruises on your pride. Get a fire burning deep inside. One foot in front of the other, and one day at a time. If you let it knock the dust off your hide, take this old world for a ride. Make your own path, leave your own mark. Pick up the pieces that are falling apart. You can do it if you let it. If you let it. This old world can get you down, kick you in the gut when you hit the ground. If you let it, but you don't have to. One foot in front of the other, y'all. All right. Thank you all very much.
That's beautiful, man.
We appreciate our audience here at Western Edge on Wednesday nights. We're trying to get back into a normal groove of life and be back out in public, and we're doing it here in Fredericksburg at about 50% capacity is what they say, so we're going to ease our way back into it and try to stay healthy at the same time. So, Dylan, I'm so glad you made it out. You said your family was supportive of your music growing up while you're still in the house, and were your folks musicians or musical?
No, my dad tried. You know, in the family band, he was our bass player.
Okay.
And, we had to keep time for him, though. We'd all be playing our instruments and looking at him saying, "Dad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2."
Yeah.
So he tried his best, but it is my uncle on my mom's side, my mom's brother. He's been playing music his whole life, and he's a really talented songwriter and guitar player in San Antonio. His name's Bob Charles. So I don't know if that came down the line anywhere, or I don't know.
It's in the family genes a bit. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were good times, man.
And you have 3 children at home. Are any of them finding themselves attracted to music, or?
My oldest is 12, and he hasn't hooked on yet. You know, so we'll see. The other ones, they're little. They're 1 year and 3 years.
Oh, so. You're a busy man right now.
Oh yeah, man, very busy.
Yeah.
I give them a guitar every chance I can, and a drum, and.
Oh yeah,
You know,
drum
we'll see what
comes
happens.
natural at those ages.
Yeah, both of them just smile and shine anytime I pull this out of the case. One wants just to crawl in the guitar case, and the other one wants to come bang on it.
Yeah.
Like it's a drum.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you still find time in between all that care to give yourself some attention there with your music and
To write.
write.
And
So,
it's, you know, each phase of life is like a new, for me anyways, has been like kind of like a new way of writing, you know, as things change and your schedule changes, and
Sure.
you have to, like, right now more than ever, I'm writing the lyrics first, and then creating the song afterwards, because I work a day job, so I'm busy. You know, I'm working 40 plus hours a week, plus with the kids, so I'm writing down lyrics in my phone when I get an idea, and then later on when I have a moment, I'll sit down with a guitar and try to put it all together. But up till now, it used to be I just had a lot of free time to write songs. I'd sit down and write it.
that's a question I usually ask our guest here, so you answered that. And with the technology these days, it makes it easier to make those notes on the fly.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Little voice recording or a note typed out. And I've always written that way too. We were talking about that before the show. I tend to sit with pencil and paper, or nowadays the notepad on the computer, and type a song.
Cool.
And I find counting syllables and thinking about beats, you know, and keep it tight, kind of as a poem at that point, you know, and then it finds itself evolving where the choruses come in, or the bridges when the guitar comes around, you know. And for me, it's looser because I don't think chorus very often, you know. Usually the first thing that comes to me is not like oh, that's going to be a good chorus.
Really, I'm
You know,
opposite.
I have to. Are you?
Oh yeah, like
it's
usually I have a hook, and
Yeah.
usually the chorus comes first. I'm like, all right, now how am I going to tell this story, or how am I
Right.
going to write a verse around this?
Right.
Typically,
Mine's kind of up in the air. I guess, you know, usually it's story first,
Yeah.
and then I'll have to figure out chorus. And
that's so cool, man. How
But-
it just happens different for everybody, and that's the beautiful thing about it is there is no
Yeah.
right or wrong. You know.
yeah, and that's why I like this show, because we get to compare notes and
Yeah.
figure out from one writer to the next what's going on. And
Yeah.
anyway, thank you very much, ma'am. We appreciate that. Well, Dylan, if you're ready, I'd love to hear another song. And
Absolutely.
You've got some merchandise here, and I know you'd love to send some CDs home with folks. And if folks are out there on KFan, we can get you on DylanTannerMusic.com.
Yep. You can also find me on all the places that you find music these days. you
Yeah.
know. Is iTunes still a thing?
I'm not sure if that one is. I heard something strange about them, but I should know because I had albums out there on it. But
Yeah, me too.
I
That's why
think
I'm
they
asking.
merge it pretty readily to nowadays.
Apple Music.
Apple Music is
Okay.
what it is, I think now.
So I'm on Apple Music and
Spotify,
and
Pandora,
all that
maybe.
good stuff. Not
Yeah.
Pandora. Never sent.
That
them
was a tough
the
one. You
letter.
have to submit your music there.
You have
so.
to do something that I didn't
Yeah.
do.
So let's hear another one right here, right now.
Right on. Let's do it. I'll play you guys another one off the new record.
Weird Day in the Berg.
Oh yeah.
It just feels weird to be back out anyway. We kind of. I'm so glad to be back out because my sweetheart was working my butt off.
Yeah. Tired of working in the garden?
Hey man, that's the part I'm not tired of. I've been at it pretty good.
Yeah,
Do y'all
that's good.
garden at home?
Oh, we haven't, man.
No.
We just.
You're gardening children.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Chasing them around. We will. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Speaking of the honeys at home. This one's for my wife. One night she pays real close attention to all the patterns around us, you know, and much more than I. And one night she was really excited because it was a strawberry moon, and I had no idea what that was, but she was really excited about it. And she took me outside where we could see it, and it was big and beautiful. And then she went back inside, and she came back with a piece of paper and a pencil, and told me, write down a bunch of stuff in your life that you want to change to make it better, whether it's stuff you want to stop doing, stuff you want to do more of. Just write down 5 things that you want to do or not do to improve your life, and I'll do the same. I said, okay. So I wrote down my 5 things, and she wrote down hers. And she took me out into the middle of the street where we could see the moon better, and pulled out a lighter, and she burnt her piece of paper and said, now you burn yours. I said, okay. So I burnt my paper, and she was just ecstatic, you know. She was tickled, jumping up and down. Don't you feel better? Don't you feel better? And, you know, I'll be honest with you, at the time I felt like I burnt a sticky note out in the middle of my driveway, but I told her, yes, baby, you know what? I'm a brand new man. And went to bed. Next morning I woke up and I was looking at the ceiling thinking about what she had me do, and I was thinking about the damn things I wrote on that sticky note, and she was right. It worked. And I realized how lucky I am to have someone that makes me think about that stuff, because if it wasn't for her, I probably would keep doing the same thing over and over again. Rolled out of bed and wrote this song. It's called Strawberry Moon. Walking a dead-end street, just covered up in whiskey and wondering when we'll meet. I open up my eyes and I felt the water fall around, an angel there to save my life. Said, come a little closer, lay your head down slow. I'll be by your side through the rain and the snow. Fall into my eyes, take a swim in my soul. They say nothing's forever, baby, I don't know, I feel good.
settled on the edge of town. I played your silly love songs, you danced while the sun went down. And you are my strawberry moon, the light around my darkness, the firefly in my typhoon. So come a little closer, lay your head down slow. I'll be by your side through the rain and the snow. Fall into my eyes, take a swim in my soul. They say nothing's forever, baby, I don't know, I feel good. My strawberry moon, firefly typhoon. 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 Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Thank y'all. Appreciate you guys.
Dylan Tanner, y'all, we're happy to have him here at Western Edge Cellars for the Outsider Songwriter Spotlight Series. I'm happy to be here tonight. My name's Stephen K. Morris. We hope you're enjoying it out there on KFAM 107.9 FM and TexasRebelRadio.com, and we love the audience that has chosen to brave this world and get back out into the world, have a nice drink here at Western Edge, some dinner. We're getting there, y'all. We're going to see what happens the next few weeks. And Dylan, thank you for being back. I think we had to kick this date down the road a few weeks ago, and I'm glad it worked out perfect. Now this is the first week back. So.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Awesome. I'm not going to let you go before we hear another song, but I do want to mention real quickly our sponsors that keep this rolling. One of those is, speaking of sponsors, there's one right there, the Tobacco House. They're purveyors of cheap talk and fine tobacco. Go visit Bob and the crew down there. Right now, as things are, you can get your cigars to go. You can order online at tabak-haus.com. Also, the Texas Silver Rush. They're here on the west end of Main Street. Look them up online at thetexassilverrush.com. And Majesty Wine Tours, they are back in business. They're ready to take you around Fredericksburg and the Hill Country area. Call Majesty Wine Tours. They'll drive you to drink and treat you like royalty.
That's a good slogan there, drive you to drink.
Yeah. I wish I'd have made that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretend I did. Well, we love those sponsors. They keep the original music flowing. They appreciate what the culture is here in town. And we have a great mix of art and music and fine dining like you get here. And Dylan, it seems like it goes hand in hand. Where are some of the places we can find you normally? I know right now it's up in the air.
Yeah. Normally I'm at a lot of the wineries out here in the hills, which I really love playing. In Fredericksburg, Lost Draw Cellars is one I frequent.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Behind HEB?
Yeah.
Yep. I love that place.
Yeah, they're real good people over there. They've been having me out for a couple years now. I play a lot out in Dripping Springs at Bell Springs Winery and Sidecar Tasting Room. Man, you got to look at the website.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the wineries and breweries though.
Right.
That's kind of where I stick around.
They're the venues in the Hill Country that kind of keep us fed as
Yeah.
musicians.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And I like that culture. As I said, it kind of goes hand in hand. They're making original wine and beer and brews.
Absolutely, man.
And then we're bringing original music. So
And the clientele seem to be pretty receptive, I must say.
I think so.
Opposed to playing in more bar settings.
Yeah.
I think we've both done that. And
Sure.
Less competing with the football game on TV and stuff at the
Right.
wineries. That doesn't happen too much.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah, I like the the feel of both kind of places. The late night smoky bar. There's not many smoky bars anymore. I still have a couple of them I'll drive to just to go to. But, that exist in this world, but not many. And sometimes that good late night gig keeps us honest. We get on our toes and on our game. And
it's very true.
But I love obviously the songwriting shows and the festivals that support the writers.
Yeah.
So. Well, Dylan, let's hear another one before we finish our hour here on The Outsider, and we'll come back and play another hour of music. We'll trade a lot more songs.
Awesome.
Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks again for having me, man. Thanks to Western Edge for having us, and hope to come back.
Yeah.
This is another song I wrote when I brought my baby boy home, and I had some leave from work, and I was watched my first Netflix series that week, and I was pretty inspired afterwards by one character in particular, and this song came out. And now looking back, I can't help but think that subconsciously the fact that I just brought my baby boy home plays a role in the writing of this song, even though I didn't intend for it to. It's called 11. When the sky's turning black, you were stuck inside your tracks. I'll come and pick you up, and then the tear inside your eye welling up before you cry is falling through my dreams. Anytime you fall, look around, 'cause I'll be there waiting every time you call my name. Oh, I'll come running. Stranger things have never been, till I found you soaking from the bedman. You'd been running, so I took you to my home, showed you what it's like to love somebody you have never known. Every time you fall, look around, 'cause I'll be there waiting every time you call my name. Oh, I'll come running every time you fall. Look around, 'cause I'll be there waiting every time you call my name. Oh, I'll come running. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Stephen, for having me.
Absolutely, Dylan. Thanks for being here, man. Again, folks, that's Mr. Dylan Tanner and his great songs. You can look him up online at dylantannermusic.com. Thanks for hanging out with us today on The Outsider. We appreciate the listeners here and also on KFan 107.9 FM and TexasRebelRadio.com. We are having fun being back in the world.
Love it, man. Love it. It feels good. I was a little nervous at first. It's been a couple months.
Yeah.
Got to get used to it again, but
I think it's kind of like sports. If you've had a good break, sometimes you come out and you do your best. You come back strong, and
right?
just because your desire is there, like you're wanting it, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes you feel strong after a little
Absolutely
break.
agree.
So anyway, I hope your road is blessed, Dylan. Thanks for sharing some of your history, and we hope you continue forward and take care of those kids. What a great song for your son there.
Thanks, man.
And I suppose you're going to have 3 songs for your kids.
Yeah.
And probably do.
Oh, they're going to come. Well, there's plenty already.
Yeah, good for you, man. Well, y'all take care. We're going to call that a great show the first hour, but know that anytime you're in Fredericksburg, you can come out to Western Edge on Wednesday, 6:30 to 9. We've got another hour to go. We're going to trade songs, have fun. Remember, folks, we're a small crowd, but we're mighty.
Oh, yeah.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us online to watch the Outsider Songwriter Spotlight Series. That's right, we're taking this thing to a new level. Videos, every guest, every week. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell so you can be notified when we release new material. If you like the show and want to support us, you can tip through Venmo. There's a link below. Check out theoutsidersongwriter.com. That'll be up and coming soon. Thank you for your support over the last 4 years. The show's growing. We've had over 150 guests, and we promise to have a lot of new great songwriter guests. Please continue to share with your friends on your social media accounts. Come on into a show. Join us when you're in Fredericksburg. You can be a part of the live audience. Downtown under the dark of night, somewhere between shadow and light, over the edge of lost and found, you can hear neon, feel sound. Be well, folks. I know we're living in strange times. We'll get through this together. We'll see you soon.